Hello and welcome to Chat OK Podcast, where we walk you through scene by... Oh, wait, no. Sorry, already fucked up here, guys. For change, we're not actually going to walk you through a movie scene by scene and review the movie and just destroy each other insult-wise. Today, we're still going to do that, by the way. We're not going to take away the insults. Today, we're actually going to do what we said we were going to do fucking weeks ago, back in the Assassin's Creed podcast, and that is come up with ideas that Netflix could use. Well, we'd like them to use. I should say, not like gonna use. If they use them, we're gonna cry because they stole our ideas.
If you do want to use them, contact us so you can give us money.
Yeah, basically, exactly that. So I'm your host, Ranking Thomas Hughes.
Hi, I'm Hayden. I'm the better one here because I've got the better brain, big brain.
I've got the better show though. We're back with a Minigarlikbucket, aka James.
I'm back out of cryo.
He's come back for this one because we said we were gonna do it, so we're gonna do it. So
we're gonna talk about Dora.
This is gonna be.
Joe, we're gonna do it.
This is gonna be interesting. Obviously, it's our first non-movie breakdown podcast, so I'm looking forward to this. See how this goes. And obviously, if this goes well and you like this, hopefully we'll do some more. And if there's anything you want us to discuss, just fucking let us know, and we'll try and discuss. And it's not Dora related, or else I'll cry.
It will be. It'll be Dora related. We'll be planning Dora too. It'll be great.
Well, we could do. We could. Just for you, we could plan Dora too. But yeah, so we're gonna talk about what we'd like to see for Netflix Assassin's Creed whenever that decides to come out. I'm assuming it'll be a couple of years down the line.
Probably.
Yeah.
It took a while for Witcher.
Yeah, I reckon it'll probably be about 2023, 2024, something like that. Fingers crossed 2022, but who knows. So I'm going to kick this off with my idea. So, my idea will span across 3 series. Obviously, if you want to continue after that, you can fucking continue after that, I don't give a shit. But my story starts and ends with these 3. And just for you, hey, I want to let you know here, a little secret. Mm-hmm. My main protagonist of both Out of Animus and In Animus is female.
Oh.
So I didn't go with a male.
Same in my first one.
I didn't go with a male.
Remember, it can't be played by a man. It has to be played by a woman.
Well, I wanted Eddie Redmayne to play him.
Mm.
I wanted Eddie Redmayne to play her like he did in that film. What was that film he did?
That's illegal now.
What's that film he did? The film he did when he played like a transgender character? Or, well, he dressed a lot as a woman. I can't remember what it was called.
What's the guy's name again?
Eddie Redmayne. The guy from Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Oh, right, yes.
He did a film where he was like transgender. Yeah, come on, Google. You're only here for that. You've got no
I
ideas.
asked for his name.
You've got no ideas. You can tell by the poster because he's got sort of womanish hair in the poster.
Mm.
I can't remember, but basically, I want him. Nah, jokes. I don't know who I want. I didn't really think of mapping down actors, actresses, you name it. I just story. That was me done.
I had no idea.
The Danish girl.
It might have been that. Yes, I think it was that.
Where he plays Lily.
Yes, I believe it was that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't really thought.
A fictionist love story loosely inspired by the lives of Danish artists Lily Elbe and Gerda Wegner. Lily and Gerda's marriage and work evolve as they navigate Lily's groundbreaking journey as a transgender pioneer.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one, James. Thank you, Thank you, Google. Actually, I better not say Google. My phone won't pick it up.
Oh, God.
I don't want another crappy joke again.
That was my input. Thanks, everybody, for coming.
Yeah, I haven't really mapped out actresses, actors, whatnot. I could, but I'm just here for the plot and whatnot. So, my first series will focus obviously on a female assassin trying to find a piece of Eden.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, she's going to kill a few Templars along the way.
Oh, yeah. Obviously.
And the first series Out of Animus will focus on like her flashbacks to when she was part of the Assassins, because my story actually doesn't take place with either Assassin or Templar.
Oh.
It takes place around a rogue group of mixture of Assassins and Templars. So it's Assassins that basically left the Creed because they believe the Creed's wrong, but they also don't believe in the Templars. And it's also a group of basically former Templars who basically think the same thing, but about Templars. and they
So
all
it's a
came
bit-
together.
It's a bit like Rogue.
That's my inspiration. My inspiration for that a lot of this plot is based on probably the most underrated Assassin's Creed game, that is Rogue. It's one that
That's
it
good.
is completely overlooked every time.
Yeah.
As I said to James before recording when you wasn't here, I blame Unity coming out at the same time with all the bugs out at
Yeah.
launch that overshadowed this little game that was the last gen Assassin's Creed game.
And it probably would have been, if Unity was good, it probably would have been well done as well. Because obviously the end of Rogue goes into Unity.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
that's what I mean. That's what I don't get why I think as well the reason why it's overlooked is the fact that it was a small game, obviously for starters,
Yeah.
and the fact it was the last gen one that no one
Like
really give a shit
360 one.
about. Yeah. Whereas obviously Unity was the first Xbox One, PS4 one, which I think that's why it was sort of overlooked. And I don't think it helped it came out at the same time. They pretty much came out like simultaneously, which never helped its chances whatsoever. But I think it's underrated. I really enjoyed it, and my story is helped by that game. So yeah, this group basically
Released the exact same day.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. That didn't help at all.
So Unity overshadowed it.
Exactly, because it was the new gen. That was the issue instantly. It wasn't that obviously. It was just that it was full of glitches day one. It was because of that this was new gen. No one gave a shit
Yeah.
about last gen at that point.
And also the graphics, like for Unity, as shit as game Unity was, it did look good.
Exactly.
And also the graphics for Rogue wasn't.
It was Rogue's graphics were basically like Black Flag style graphics,
Yeah.
whereas
it's
Unity
good,
was new.
but
Exactly. Obviously, that was like an issue straight away, going to be overshadowed. But yeah, so yeah, this rogue group basically go into hiding and whatnot, and try and their goal is to find the pieces of Eden and take them before like the assassins and Templars find them and hide them where they can't find them, because obviously they're all these groups are using the same sort of DNA strands to track down the pieces of Eden. But like obviously with Desmond, they used Desmond in the first game to track the piece of Eden, and obviously all the other games used the same thing, didn't they? And
Yeah.
basically this group just want to get there first, take it and hide it, so then they can't use DNA strands of former assassins to get it now. Obviously they could in the future if they found like the DNA strands of these ones, they could probably fucking find it then. But again, they could just hide it again for years to come. That is their sort of end goal of this. And the first series will focus out of Animus on her having flashbacks to when she was with the assassins and basically witnessing like things that made her go, wait, are these actually good guys or bad guys? And
Yeah.
obviously, as I say, in Animus, the basic assassin will be trying to just get the piece of Eden while, murdering Templars and bad guys along the way. But then Series 2 of my idea would basically pick up straight after the ending of Series 1. So Series 1 would end on a cliffhanger in the Animus. And Series 2 would pick up straight after that cliffhanger. So basically, all the actions in the first one, I sort of came up with this idea for that thanks to playing a lot of Telltale games recently, and games where every action has a consequence in a sense. So the idea is all these kills and that, obviously it happened in Salem, where the witch trials were. That's the whole plot of this whole thing, is the setting is the Salem witch trials. And they saw all these murders only started happening when this new family came in, which is obviously the family of this assassin. And they put the blame solely on that, and they put it to witchcraft, because how like badly the bodies were when they found them. And obviously at the end of this, they basically torch the entire house that her family lives in. Obviously killing the whole family, of course. And so it's badly burning like her arms and that. And Series 2 would then follow her out for anger for the fact that none of the Creed actually helped her. They just let it happen. They didn't stand by her as a brotherhood to save her or her family. They just essentially let these witch hunters kill them, so they couldn't obviously affect the Creed. And obviously this series would follow her trying to get revenge and going after everyone that basically was involved in this basically arson thing, and basically it would showcase her assassinating all of them. And
Got a dog as well.
I have, and he's definitely me at the moment. Well, you never know, there could be dogs in it. But yeah, so it would focus on basically her trying to kill and whatnot, and basically essentially leaving the assassins behind, but still utilising the skill she learned as an assassin to get rid of said, obviously, villainous people that basically don't understand reality and think witches are real.
Yeah.
And then series 3 obviously would focus on.
She's still going after like the witch hunters that are actively carrying out the burnings, but she's also going after her former brothers in Brotherhood for abandoning her, leaving her for dead. Was I following that properly?
Series 2 wouldn't focus on her going after the assassins. Series 2 focuses just on her going after the basically the witch hunters.
Right.
But series
the
3,
Order of the Creed, or
no, this is on her own back. She's left the Creed by this point. She's angry at the Creed for not standing by and saving her family. So series 3 basically then would pick up with the Creed going after her for her actions of killing civilians.
Right. Gotcha.
It would focus on basically them hunting her down and trying to kill her. So basically she has to fight back against them, while also going after the last piece of Eden before they get it. So basically that is essentially her joining the Templar Order now. She's sort of become more Templar than Assassin by this point. I'm not 100% sure yet if she's going to become a Templar, but the plan maybe is to eventually lead her into that thing, which is obviously how the Templars would get her a DNA strand. The Assassins would have it for the fact she was former Assassin, the Templars would have it because she was former Templar. But obviously each series has their own flashbacks. So series 1, as I said, was her as an assassin in obviously the modern time. Series 2 would focus on the main protagonist becoming a Templar. So she actually, the one in the real life actually becomes a Templar after Assassin. She joins their group. And again, sees the exact same sort of thing as the Assassins, which is why she leaves. Whereas Series 3 focuses on flashbacks of basically leading up to the first episode of Series 1. So it's focused on her finding this new group and then basically coming together to essentially become this new sort of Assassin Templar group. That basically their goal is just to hide the pieces of Eden from both sides, to stop both sides using it, because so obviously Templars want to use it for world order, whereas Assassins, they just want to control the pieces, so they don't want them to do that because of how dangerous the pieces are. You know what I mean? Because if you look at Rogue, one of the missions in that is to do, I think it was Haiti, where the piece of Eden causes a massive earthquake which kills thousands of people, or hundreds of people, I can't remember. And obviously that was the Assassin's fault. They went after it. They caused it. So something like that will happen in basically the modern timeline in this, something similar, which is obviously why she would then switch allegiances to Templars. But she'd witnessed then firsthand the Creed was right about the Templars. They are bad. And then obviously eventually she'd stumble across this rogue group that have also split from both sides, and then they'd form their own, essentially, Creed.
So as long as the Assassins are actively seeking the pieces, disasters will strike and innocent people will be either severely injured or killed. And if the Templars get it, then say goodbye to free will.
Basically, yes, that is sort of my spanning of this. And obviously, as I said, the whole series essentially just comes full circle. The fact that obviously Series 3 focuses on flashbacks to before the first series, so it essentially leads up to the first series.
Right.
And
so how does this other Creed actively seeking the pieces as the Assassins are? How is what they're doing different to the Assassins? Because if they're both seeking the pieces, then do the pieces of Eden know, oh, it's okay, it's like a middle ground Creed, so we're not going to cause a major earthquake? Or isn't it just going to be the same case where, oh, this person's seeking me out, time to split the earth in two?
Well, it's in the sense of, obviously, if you don't fuck up with the piece, because obviously in Rogue, I can't remember what they did, but they fucked up, and it caused the earthquake to happen, and obviously just destroyed everything and killed everyone and whatnot. So obviously, essentially, they're just trying to be more careful.
Right.
Essentially, they don't see it as what is actually, obviously they don't see it as it was just an accident. They see it as they just killed like thousands of people. They can't be allowed to get any more pieces because that could happen again. So it's sort of like their minds are saying they're bad, but reality is they know deep down they're not, if you know what I mean.
It's like you're basically showing what's bad about both sides and putting them together. The idea of
Yeah,
both
essentially.
sides rejecting the cause is each side's done, but yet they're still kind of hypocritical. Like even this new side not correct either. It's sort of like yin and yang. The
Essentially,
idea of
yeah.
you need both.
Yes.
Essentially, yeah.
Well, I found like a quick summary of the 1751 Port-au-Prince earthquake. It was followed by sea wave. The earthquake was caused by the defense mechanism of an Isu site, which was triggered by the assassin Vendredi. Sorry, I can't pronounce things on a normal day. Who was sent to explore the site on the orders of his mentor. While Vendredi attempted to make his escape, he was trapped by falling debris and killed by the Templar Lawrence Washington. So yeah, it was their triggering of a defense mechanism on the site that caused the earthquake and subsequent, I want to say tsunami, but it just says sea wave, and I haven't touched anything related to geography in years, so
It's like a sea
probably
quake
wrong.
kind of thing.
Yeah, essentially. I also forgot to say in the third series as well as the flashbacks in the modern day, obviously the Templars have got, because obviously in series 2 the group have to go to Salem for a bit like in AC Brotherhood when they had to go to Spain to hide out from the Templars since they attacked them. And they go into basically a part of Ezio's history, the mansion of his uncle, to get more detail and whatnot.
Yes.
I forgot to say, series 2 of this goes to Salem because obviously they got attacked by assassins, not Templars. The assassins came after them at their hideout and they had to fend them off, and then they had to flee to Salem. And basically, the whole second one is set. Pretty much both past and present is set in Salem. Whereas Series 3, because Series 2 sort of has the Templars at the end finding them in Salem, and Series 3 focuses on the Templars going after them, and basically them have to barricade themselves in from the Templars. But the assassins obviously also turn up, so basically it's a war between assassins and Templars. And obviously this side's stuck in the middle, trying to essentially hide this piece of Eden. But obviously, it's kind of spoilery if I say this, but I have like one of the main characters who you think's good the entire time. When he gets the piece of Eden, he just lets it get to his head, and basically tries to essentially go back to his old Templar ways of wanting to control mankind. Obviously, then forcing her to go back to her old assassin's days of taking him out, and essentially then realizing that no one can be trusted but herself, and obviously she then probably go on by herself.
Yep.
Or maybe she'd die at the end. Who knows? I don't even know. I haven't thought that far ahead. I have not thought that far.
I personally quite like the ground you're trying to cover. I like that idea of, past experiences shaping someone to the point where maybe something they believed in before and was to the point where they were willing to put their life down for it, they've now come to question it. So then they go to see the other side and well, this is just as bad. And then they find that middle ground, not necessarily Swiss neutrality.
Said the yin and yang kind of.
Yeah, the whole yin and the yang thing that you can constantly go back to and refer to. And I'm always all for a good, was it anti-hero? Those ones that
Like Deadpool sort of thing.
Yeah, thinking more seriously than haha lol,
Yeah.
I've been cut in half. Not that I can think of any examples off the top of my head right now. But yeah, I really do like that whole, one day they're fighting along the side of the good guys, and then the next they're stabbing them in the shins. So yeah, I think, and there's probably that good connection with the time period you're going for in the Salem witch hunts. Yeah, the main point there was I like your whole anti-hero tried both sides. Find what's important to yourself, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because obviously the whole point is balance. Because like you can't, if chaos is just chaos, then things get destroyed. And obviously, with just order, then there's no free will. But you need both. You need a balance of the assassins and the Templars. So
Is there a dog
Why
in
not
your
do both?
timeline as well?
yes, there is a dog in my timeline as well. It's not a dog, but
Well, that I guess that is like a very is it like a core idea to Assassin's Creed? The fact that
yeah,
without the assassins, there is just order, and without the Templars, there is just chaos.
yeah. That's
Yeah,
the whole
yin
point.
and yang.
The assassins, like they represent chaos, and Templar represent order. So there's like the mix. And that's the whole point is them battling. So yeah.
But yeah, that's my idea. That's my idea falling
Okay.
through.
All right.
Thumbs up.
Yeah, I did like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Hayden, take the floor.
Right. Well, my idea, what I would like is like a 6 series show, because the idea is each series is set in a different era, but the modern timeline is the same protagonist, because she's like with Desmond, who is related to all of them. So is like this protagonist. She's the main protagonist I want to be played by Karen Gillan, because it's Karen Gillan.
Yeah, I respect that choice.
Yeah, that's the idea that I had picked, because obviously, the last series, protagonist is Scottish, so it makes sense her being related to a Scottish person, so she being Scottish, and Karen Gillan is Karen Gillan, so perfect choice.
Oh,
Yeah, to the
of course, that's who that is.
Amy Pond.
Mm-hmm.
The first series idea I had, I want Joe the games. They're going for the origins of the assassins and Templars kind of thing.
Yeah.
I wanted to jump on that bandwagon, and the idea is it follows some continuity from the games, like the Cult and Odyssey and stuff like that. I want to do expand on that more and do the origins of them, but actually show them forming. The first series is all about the Roman invasion of England.
Jumping across the
And
pond, are we?
yeah, and the idea is the assassin side, before they became the assassins, is represented by Boudica, and Romans being the Templar stuff. The idea is that cult from Odyssey is the reason why the Roman Empire existed, why they gained so much power. That's the idea I have. And by this time, like 60 AD, the idea is they invade Britain, England at the time, because they want a specific sort of precursor object, to the thing. Because obviously they don't do this simple piece of Eden kind of thing, from the old game, or to do more the new game are doing. Whereas in Odyssey, you've got the Spear of Leonidas, which is basically a precursor object, but it's one you start off with. I want the idea of the main character has this precursor object, this special piece of Eden kind of thing. It's the idea of a torque, which a necklace kind of thing. The idea is that talk gives the wearer this sort of powerful, like sort of Captain America kind of strength, like fast reflexes and stuff like that. Pretty simple. And it makes them like powerful leaders.
Make super soldiers, basically.
Yeah, basically. And obviously the cults behind the Roman Empire want that talk, but it's currently in the hands of Boudica. The idea is the main protagonist, inside the Animus, the assassin that we're following, is Boudica's daughter. And obviously when the idea is Boudica obviously is this powerful force that Romans are losing against constantly. The idea is they use her daughter, this fictional daughter, against her. Reason why she gets caught. Now the whole idea of they gain the talk, but obviously Boudica knows it needs to be in their family hands. The idea is their bloodline have been the guardians of it. The idea of Boudica's daughter, which I don't really have a name for yet, can't be asked to think of a name. But the idea is she's Boudica's daughter, very young, so she's been told to take it from them. So Boudica poisons herself to distract the guards so that her daughter can escape with the talk. And it will follow it will skip then 10 or 20 years or so, following her again now, sort of on the run in this new Roman Empire England.
Mhm.
And it will sort of follow her going through all trying to break Roman free and stuff.
Mhm.
Obviously, I've thought of each individual episode.
Yeah.
I only thought of this today while in the shower, so the
That's where
usual.
the best ideas come from.
Where most
The
of my
idea-
ideas come from.
I thought the last episode of the first series, it sets the seeds for the fall of the Roman Empire, and obviously the talk never gets in the Romans' hands. That's the idea, because in the modern day timeline, it's the main protagonist who's trying to find this talk. Classic Assassin's Creed, both you're trying to find the talk, so the precursor objects, you're following what the assassin does. The idea is about the assassin finds a way to hide it, and in the modern day, obviously you person trying to find it as well.
Yeah.
In the modern timeline, they don't get it. That she finds it, but it gets taken off her. She's on to the second series, but the first series, the main assassin will hide it away,
Mhm.
but it still ultimately doesn't really manage to free England. So they both fail in a way.
Oh, okay.
The idea is still it sets the seeds for the fall of the Roman Empire, but it doesn't actually do it straight away. If you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Building it
it'll,
up.
yeah. And then it will lead to the second series.
The questions on my mind are so with the Roman Empire being backed by this cult, so would that mean that this cult is maybe say a majority of the Roman Senate? Are we talking that level of influence, or is this just specific?
Talking do you know in Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
Where the whole point is that they got a king and they got Wormtail, the one, well, Wormtongue, whatever his name is the one causing.
Wormtail.
Yeah, that's Harry Potter. Wormtongue, the one who's causing the king to do all this stuff because he's the one whispering in his ear.
Yeah.
That sort of idea where it's not the emperor isn't actually part of the cult, but his advisors, people around them,
yeah.
are the ones pushing
His cabinet.
this ideal.
Sort of thing.
Yeah.
What was the other? Oh yeah. So which this when the Romans first show up, are they also then influencing Boudica's daughter to get to the Took, was it you said? Or Talk, that's it, thank you. I have been listening. I am half asleep though.
Aren't we all?
It's a Saturday. Sorry for dating this. So, like, are the Romans influencing her, or is she entirely on Boudicca's? What's the relationship there between the assassin woman Boudica and the Romans?
Well, the idea is like her daughter is trying to fight against the Romans,
Right.
but no matter what, she's got the talk and she's got these he's making her stronger and faster than any of them.
Yeah.
The Romans are still managing to win. That's the idea. Like no matter
Okay.
what she does, she still can't quite break their control.
Okay, right. For
And
some
obviously-
reason, when you were first going through it, I had it in my head that the Romans were influencing this
No,
daughter to get to Boudica, to get to the Took.
the idea is they used at the start, like they used her to capture Boudica.
Right.
But
Okay.
like that's like this start, like first kind of episode kind of thing, setting up her lineage. That's when she's a young kid.
Yep.
But the main focus will be when she's older. The Romans are still trying to capture her, basically,
Okay.
where she's trying to free England, free her tribe, basically,
Hmm.
from their control.
But doesn't makes progress, but doesn't fully succeed. Is where
Yeah.
you want to leave it off on the first.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
That will like be paralleled with the main like protagonist and the real like in modern day
Mhm.
who managed to succeed finding the talk, but then loses it to the
Mhm.
Templars.
So it's that very quick subversion of expectations where you're making everything look like it's coming to a really happy, nice conclusion, and then, oh no, I've been stabbed.
Yeah, basically.
Whereas England isn't, well, the tribe and the Celtic people aren't freed from the Romans' control, and your modern day character trips and loses the Took in the drain, and then starts hearing voices saying they all float down here.
Getting more into the it kind of category there.
I want to know. Obviously, listening to you, I decided in the background to try and come up with my own sort of a cast, like actress in the main role. Since obviously you had yours, I was like, shit, I could do with one there. To be fair, so while you was doing all that, I was kind of like ideas for people in the background. And
Googling your favorite.
oh no, I just googled
actresses.
list of American actresses, and I came up with 3 choices. I came up with one that would be sort of in the line of Black Flag style of, it's not an actual direct descendant, it's just like someone who has the DNA strand,
Okay.
which would be someone like Charlize Theron from Mad Max Fury Road. The fact that she's badass as anything, and I think she'd do a good job. Another one, which obviously is a yank, would be Jamie Alexander from 4 and 4 Dark Worlds. They played Lady Sif, was it?
Yeah.
And
Chilling.
the last one, which would bring a subplot of a racial element to it, which could be why another reason they targeted that family in the past would be Zoe Saldana, because she also is badass from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh yeah, she'd work.
Those are the ones I came up with. Those are my cast choices. Go back to
like
yours.
I like how we've all gone for Marvel. Well, me and you've gone for Marvel character like actresses.
I just think those 3 are badass women and fit the role easily. Yeah, you can carry on with yours.
I agree.
I've done my
Yeah.
bit.
But in the whole point in the second series, it'll pick up on a completely different era, same protagonist, but in a different era, going more for the Battle of Hastings. Because obviously, the whole point is obviously the like precursor to the Order, but before they became the Templars, they've still kind of got control of England, not fully. Obviously, the whole point of the Battle of Hastings was this king's died, and the new king of England was Harold. I can't think he was. In my idea, he's going to be a part of that like order, that cult, and I want to do like a sort of put it on the battle, because obviously in the game, the new game, as it's now in Valhalla, is about the Norse on the Viking side, and that was the thing that happened during the Battle of Hastings was the Vikings were attacking. So that was the idea of that their ancestors of the assassin in Valhalla is the ones that like are fighting. So they're not trying to invade England to take control like before. The idea is they're invading to beat the cult. And as well, you got the Normans who were like, I want to fight, so let's join in here as well. That's the idea. Like, it's the two. You actually have got the assassin side with the Norse, but you've got the Normans just wanting to, do what they want to do and have a nice little. Well, basically, William wants to be a king, like real life, basically.
Okay.
That's the idea, and it will follow an ancestor from the Boudica's daughter, who managed to obviously pass on the legacy, but of protecting that talk again. So obviously the talk obviously is hidden away, so it won't actually be used anymore. But it will be the idea of they're still trying to. They're the last living person that knows where it is. But they pass the location on to their descendants, and it'll be the Harold is trying to hunt her down, or I think he may be doing it him actually. Second series, not go just girl. Do throw a little mix into it. Second one will be here, if I remember correctly. And
third series will
yeah,
be
just
attack helicopter.
yeah. Oh, you don't get that
Yeah.
joke. I was talking to James about Valhalla, and I was saying there's 3 options for choices. So you got male, female, and James goes, "What's the third option?" Attack helicopter. But no, it's male and female. You can jump between them.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm not a good judge on Valhalla yet, because I'm only played 45 minutes as of this point of recording. But as of 45 minutes, I think including that in a series would be a good call for the fact that A, it's the most recent game, and B, Vikings are cool.
That's true.
Also, how many seasons did you say you mapped out? 6, was it?
6.
You're on series 2 right now, right?
I know, yeah.
Have you mapped out actually all 6 seasons?
I know where they're set. Not the full story.
Oh,
I
okay.
know where they're set.
Okay. Continue.
Yeah. I don't really know what happened for the second series. I didn't think that far into it. But the whole point is...
The show would get cold at that point.
The Battle of Hastings happens. Harold loses. William the Conqueror wins. Blah, blah, blah. The Normans, in this one, help defeat Harold, and our work is done. The cult's finished. They're thinking he's the last head of the cult, and go on their separate way. And then it's revealed that, like in the Romans, William's advisor happens to be a member of the cult.
Seems like in your universe you can't trust any advisor.
Yeah,
Pretty
that's the
much.
point.
That does sound like that.
That's the point.
I know, you can't trust me. I'm Hayden's advisor. Kill James.
The whole point is the cult. They're like cockroaches. No matter what you do, they still can end up appearing.
Okay.
Which is what leads them to become the Templars.
By that you mean the cult are advisors to every head of every state.
To be fair, that
yeah.
does sound like sort of how I think its origins was, with the sense that the cult was pretty much just like obviously Odyssey. The cult was far stretching, but obviously origins of the fact that at one point Bayek befriends, sort of aligns himself with Cleopatra and Caesar. And eventually, they both turn out to be sort of a part of this cult. They're bad, essentially. And
See,
you mean like
the cult?
You mean like sort of like that, in the sense that
yes,
you literally can't trust anyone. Like these are people that are high figures in power, and he obviously trusts them because obviously Cleopatra is the queen of Egypt, so he trusts her because she's his queen. And Caesar, the queen trusted him, so each buyer could trust him, but then obviously they both turn out to be bad. So basically, he
Yeah.
essentially can't trust anyone but himself. And I can't remember her name. The female assassin in Origins, the one who's his wife, I think it was. Google me.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm going with. The idea of you can't really trust anyone, and it's like the idea of, again, no matter what, the assassins keep on losing.
Okay.
Like, even if they succeed, they still keep on losing, and the cult keeps on surviving. And then the third series is when the Templar and Assassin orders, they get established, and this is when they properly become. I was thinking it might establish it. Like, timelines, I don't really know much timeline wise if this is good for continuity, but the idea is during the King John, if I remember correctly, did the Magna Carta thing. I was thinking maybe that during that time, in the third series, that's when it gets established. The Templar gets established, order at the end of it, when the Magna Carta happens. Because that's the idea. Like, the idea is you're following assassin protagonists as they're going, helping the people, and they create the order to help defeat this reigning. The way that the king was quite tyranny kind of person. And that's why they created the Magna Carta, to restrain their rule. And that's the idea of, that was part of the creed. They were formed to stop stuff like that, to help create the Magna Carta, and that sort of spread across the world. It's obviously it spread across to Spain and stuff, establishing Altair and Ezio, and establishing all the creed, all other countries.
Basically, mate.
Aya, by the way, I've only just found it.
What is that, James?
Bayek's wife, Aya.
Aya. Yeah. Okay.
AYA.
Thanks, Google.
Yeah, but because of their defeat in stopping the assassins, that's what caused the cult to become Templars.
Okay.
They were formed to control this chaotic element that is the creed. It's the idea of they're both created to stop each other, and I wanted that to follow on.
So essentially, the bit obviously when you said it goes around is sort of sets up basically the other assassins like Altair, Ezio, so and so, all the other countries. Essentially, that is officially making the games canon. With this universe, which it should be. I might add, games are canon in my universe as well. Because you got to keep the games canon, because that's the better story, best overall stories. The games that always continue from the last one. So I like that. I'm liking this.
I want to do something different to what The Witcher did, because The Witcher I put it was changing the way the games worked. But
that's because they did more the book in that show.
Yeah, that's why. So I feel like this, I wanted it to be based more on the games, and what I think the film failed in some areas. So I wanted to at least establish that continuity with the games, so that gets the nerds who love the Assassin's Creed games, like you, Tom, or happy because I know Ezio.
I do own every single game at least twice. I own. Actually, the only one I don't own twice, I believe, is the first game, because they only made it on 360, and that they never remastered it. I only own it on 360. But I mean, Ezio, they've remastered that, didn't they, in the Ezio collection? So I own all three of them on 360, and all three of them on PS4. Black Flag, I've got on fucking both console and PC. Assassin's Creed 3, I got it on both. Technically speaking, I own Assassin's Creed 3 three times, ironically. I own it on PC, fucking Xbox 360 and Xbox One.
Well, they definitely did make the original on PS3.
What? Yeah. The first one?
Definitely what I played it on.
Yeah, PS3 and Xbox 360. They never did it any further than that, though. They've never remastered it or anything. Which is a shame, because I enjoyed that, apart from, no swimming.
I mean, let's be honest, I'm surprised you haven't got Black Flag on your Samsung smart fridge when you get one.
Oh, I'm gonna have that there. When I go and get the ice out the fridge thing, kind of thing, when you put your
Yeah.
Yeah, they have the ice machines on the fridges and freezers and that. I'm gonna have it when I go and get them my ice for my drink. I'm just gonna be playing Black Flag real quick. I'm gonna shooting some pirates while having me a nice cold glass of ice.
Sea shanties.
Oh yes, I'd love every time I open the fridge door. I'd love it to play some sea shanties. Yes, James, I'd love that. Buy me that for Christmas.
I just remembered as well, something I forgot to mention for the first series.
Yes.
Do you know how, like, in the games, like, you can get an animal companion?
Uh,
That's what it's going. It was like in Odyssey and stuff. Like, you could like tame a tiger or something, or a lion or something, and they walk around.
yes. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I know.
I
What you meant.
have. Yeah, in the first series, the protagonist, she's gonna have a wolf.
At
You know,
at
'cause
first,
Annie's the wolf.
at first, I thought you meant the idea of the fact that Origins, Odyssey, I think it was Origins that did it first, and obviously
Yeah.
Valhalla have the bird companion that you can obviously do the Eagle
Yeah.
Vision by. I thought you meant like that at first.
Oh, she'll have that as well. But
You can get a wolf in Valhalla.
Yeah, you can ride a wolf.
yeah, the idea of that.
That's what I want.
Yeah, I want to have like a wolf sort of pet, because the idea is the talk makes her like aggressive and animalistic, so it's like a wolf, and that's the idea. Like, they call her like the red wolf or something.
Okay.
Yeah, but then now to the back to
Go on.
the fourth series.
We're almost done.
Yeah, the fourth series. I wanted to base it around the War of the Roses. No, that was going to be a bit obvious. One side's going to be the Assassins and one side's going to be the Templars. A bit obvious there, but I wanted to at least have that sort of, that's like their first major conflict when they actually had a war.
Okay.
I wanted that, yeah. But I haven't thought of much for plot wise though for that bit. So
Fair enough.
that's the setting I would want it. Then the fourth one would be.
Is it as black as white as like one side where Assassins versus Templars? Like, say, like the Assassins are Lancaster and the Templars are York.
Yeah.
Is that how clear cut?
It's not going to be like it's going to look like it is, but like it'll turn out that if it was
One of the advisors is part of the
Not again.
Wasn't War of the Roses Richard III, right? Correct. Remember correctly.
Ask Google. Google will find out for you.
It might not be. I'm probably remembering wrong.
So ask the real Google.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it is.
Oh, I found Richard III. He's here.
Yeah. Well, 'cause the idea is everyone thinks Richard III is this bad guy, when it turns out he was like actually wasn't that bad. That's the idea I want to work on. Like the idea that everyone like was thought he was part of the Templars, but he never was at all. He was completely innocent. That's the idea of like even his advisors were part of the Templars. It was just like the cult, but the Templars pushed like the war, but no one like actually like the advisors are actually part of it. So everyone that the assassins killed were kind of innocent. It's just the war itself was caused by the Templars.
Can I just interject? I was reading through the Wikipedia article,
Yeah.
and all I'm seeing is deposed, deposed, deposed,
Yeah.
deposed. It's like literally like anyone could have just walked into London, knocked on the door, and gone, "Hey, I'm king now."
Yeah, welcome to England.
Yes, hello, it is me, the king.
Yeah,
no, he's part of the car park.
Okay, so what's your next setting then?
Yeah, so it moves on from War of the Roses to
Which series is this now? Is it series 5, was it?
This is series 5, yeah.
Yeah.
No, wait a minute.
You said series 4 for the War of the Roses.
Yeah, series 4 of War of the Roses. Then series 5.
Okay, so series
setting up-
series 1 was
Roman invasion.
Roman invasion. Series 2 was
Battle of Hastings.
Battle of Hastings. Series 3
is series 3 was the Magna Carta.
Magna Carta. Series 4
Yeah.
War of the Roses. Then
Yes.
Series 5, yeah. Okay.
Series 5 is probably going to be the best one yet, because it's going to be all about King Henry VIII. Oh, I just wanted to do one about King Henry VIII, you know. The
Don't
idea,
blame you.
when he created the Church of England, it's going to be that sort of war between Protestants and between the
Roman Catholics.
the Catholics and the Protestants. That's the word. and it's sort of that sort of hostility to each other. It could be less of like a big war kind of one, more of a political kind of
Yeah,
series.
more political.
Yeah, but it won't be just like Henry VIII. That it will follow each of the Tudor royalty. So it will also be like Mary and Elizabeth as well. Or
Okay.
follow them.
Okay.
Well, that one's more clear cut because Mary
Oh yeah,
was
yeah,
Catholic and
yeah.
Elizabeth was Protestant. Wow, I am actually remembering something from A level
Yeah,
history.
that's correct.
But with
Because
Henry
you're a
VIII,
nerd.
thank
Yeah.
you. His church was kind of like its own. It was more the Anglican religion than it was just straight up Protestantism.
Yes.
So
It was he took the Protestant ideals, like, oh, we can divorce now, it's fine, but didn't believe any of it because it's Henry VIII. He just wanted
just
to,
because he wanted to divorce his wife, basically.
like,
He just wanted
yeah,
a quick shag, a son, and then
Well,
get
it
rid of him.
was so
Yeah.
it wasn't just that. It was basically just give more control to him as the monarch. So, are you going for more of a sense of what Thomas was going for in there's three sides, or are you looking to focus more on the straight up divide between Catholics and Protestants, even though Henry VIII's church wasn't necessarily straight up Protestant?
The idea of like that simple act caused this sort of rift between the religions, like the side of Christianity, and I wanted like the idea of both the Templars and the Assassins are trying to fix this rift, but like they're not working together. It's more like they're trying to do the same thing, but they're against each other at the same time because they both are doing different ways of doing it. Templars want to just control everyone in the same like side of religion, whereas the Assassins want to have sort of give everyone the right to believe what they want to believe, but not in a way that causes violence and stuff.
Yeah, we say that, but oops, my finger slipped and now you're on fire.
Yes, that will follow that because the idea is it's going to be the same. Assassin's going to be start off young in like Henry VIII era. When he goes to like Mary and Elizabeth, she like will be a she. She'll get a lot more like older, like more knowledgeable in this sort of thing. And you'll see her, And the idea you'll see her like her look out for the whole situation change.
Are you throwing Spain into this?
Yes, I am. I'm having the Spanish Inquisition.
Because I was going to say Spain is quite. Well, they are very heavily involved in this time period because Mary literally marries the then King of Spain. Not that I remember his name, and that reminded me of how funny I found it. The fact that on the day of Mary's wedding to the then King of Spain, it was told that he came to England for the wedding, and it was said that it was a typical English day. It was pouring down with rain. It was dark. It was miserable, and that is hilarious to me. It's like, yes, hello, welcome to England. It's a shithole.
Yeah.
And also, we're going to beat you up in about 3 years. Have fun with that.
But yes, that's correct. Yeah, I will be having the Spanish Inquisition in the Spanish, like their like side, the whole like because there was a whole fight between like Elizabeth and Spanish, but like remember the a lot of sea battles, so that'll be established.
Almost entirely sea battles. There was very little actual land fighting between the two.
Yeah, it was mostly
fire ships.
Let's set fire to their barrels, pretty much.
Let's just send fire at them and see what happens.
Yes, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
And then the last series will be a free. It'll be a lot quite mixed. It'll be mostly set during World War II, but there will be some like other stories into it. There'll be like flashes to like the Stuart era, We've got the whole the English like witch trials, as well as
So
the
essentially a sort of Animus type glitch series. Like it
yes,
might keep glitching
well,
this between timelines. It's not.
yeah,
It hasn't got the DNA exactly. It just keeps jumping for some reason.
yeah. Basically,
Okay.
it's the whole point of that. Like, in the like modern day, they're trying to fix this glitch, and
Okay.
it'll flitch between, but it'll throw little like story. But it turns out all these like references you'll see in like the last series all come to this like one conclusion to
Okay.
find this piece of Eden kind of item that's like going to be similar to the talk.
Oh, okay, similar. I was about to ask, is
Yeah.
the talk
The talk will be
the
involved as well.
continuous point through all of
Yes.
this?
The talk will be like a part of it, and it will still be that like underlying like part of it will be trying to find the talk. But because at this point in time, the Templars are established, the piece of Eden, as more like a thing that they're after. But in the modern day, they'll be more involved with the talk.
Hmm.
And each
So I find
series
it
is trying to get
funny that you tend to find these animus glitches
through it. Yeah,
in more modern day, whereas 7,000 years ago, we've got it down to a T, like it's perfect. But 20 years ago, ooh, that bit of history is a bit dodgy.
yeah.
We don't have that on record.
To be fair though, like you've got to understand, DNA it does like decay after a while, so it's understandable to say the
Okay.
least.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the more I wear these jeans,
Yeah,
The more you wear the same pants every day. James, change your pants.
you can't make me.
and also
I
last series as
fucking
well.
can.
I've never known comfort like these.
But in last series, it will also like the little flashback as well to the like the creation of humanity as well. The whole point is these like precursor people. I can't remember the names. You probably remember
Jupiter. Those ones.
the race that they're
Yeah,
called.
Jupiter. I think the one was called. The women, the ones that Desmond interacted with. The one that essentially killed Desmond.
I don't know, and from our inside intel, she is in a conversation.
What?
Um,
Hold on, I'll ask Google. Not you, Google. I'll ask the actual
yeah,
Google.
Google it. Google it.
Hey Google, who are the precursor race in Assassin's Creed? No, not bird. Precursor racing. No, I didn't say bird precursor. God damn it, Google!
I can't remember the names.
Hold on, it's telling me a bird precursor. Hey Google, who are the precursor race in Assassin's Creed?
Okay, indeed. How can I help?
I just. Ah!
Oh, Assassin's Creed precursor race.
Yeah.
The Isu,
Isu, that's it.
also
Isu.
known as the first civilization, and those who
Yeah.
came before, classified as Homo sapiens, Divinus, or the precursors.
Yeah,
An ancient and advanced species of humanoid beings on Earth who created the pieces of Eden, as well as the human race itself in the Assassin's Creed video game series.
yeah. Basically,
It's-
it will.
I'm pretty certain one of them's called Jupiter, though.
Yeah, they're all based off like the guy like Poseidon's one. You know what I mean? So there are. But there will be a flashback to like
This
his
book
ancient
doesn't have any
creation.
answers.
Because obviously, if you can follow DNA, you could go back so far that you'll find the creation of humanity. So that one of the glitches it shows that, which obviously helps the like protagonist sort of understand.
Yeah. Oh,
Things
yeah. It
more.
says in Assassin's Creed 3, one of the members, Juno, is the antagonist to Mars.
All right,
She was
robot, calm
imprisoned
down.
in the Grand Temple by Minerva and Jupiter for her crimes against her own kind and humanity.
Can you reset it again, robot?
I roboted it.
You roboted.
In Assassin's Creed 3, one of their members, Juno, is the primary antagonist to Desmond Miles. She was imprisoned in the Grand Temple by Minerva, and Jupiter for her crimes against her own kind and humanity.
Thank you, robot.
Thank you, Internet. Thanks, Virgin Media. Pricks.
But yeah, and that will be the whole setup. But obviously, in the the main like timeline of Series 6 is the modern day era and World War Two. Because
One near World War II and constant
glitches, yeah.
glitches and weird occurrings linking back to like both the original like monkey people and events that have already occurred within the series.
Yeah. And that'll all like sort of lead up to this main thing that I haven't thought of yet.
So
But-
kind of like in the movie when with the bleeding effect, names forgotten. Michael Fassbender, thank you. Starts seeing like his ancestor Aguilar outside of the Animus, like start seeing hallucinations of him. You'll start having, say, like a Roman soldier start running all of a sudden at your main character because of this glitch / bleeding effect.
Yeah, because that was probably one of the cool parts about it. Like in the film was the bleeding effect. So yeah, I was thinking something to that. The
Okay.
glitches, and there will be a lot of like it's like the last series, like a lot of desyncing as well. So
Okay.
yeah, and it'll lead up. Obviously, also I wanted to have Hitler into it, so
Of course.
you know, I can't not.
Okay then, that seems.
Can
Also, I
not.
probably should mention as well. The last series, the main assassin protagonists are going to be twins that are descendants from the Friar twins, the Syndicate. Yeah.
Okay. In the Syndicate Ned, okay.
So obviously, like World War One, like one that had a little
Yeah.
bit there was
Her daughter.
the great. He was Jacob's great granddaughter, I think, or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I played that game.
Mercury was great granddaughter, yeah.
But
But
yeah.
yeah, they be relatives,
Yeah.
and that's the last of it.
That's
There
a
we go.
decent series idea.
Yeah, if they want to carry it on, they can.
Exactly.
They can do one about. They can do
There's
about Donald Trump.
certainly a theme of this group of English born and bred people sticking to English speaking countries, with one
What?
straight up picking England and one sticking to the Americas.
There's going to be some like jump different countries. Like there's still going to be like big parts of like in like Norway and stuff. Because obviously the north side, and there's going to be the sort of Norman French kind of side during the Battle of Hastings
But
one.
primarily,
Yeah, primarily it's England because the idea is Templars. They're the most English thing ever. And their origins have got to be set in England, at least. The whole
Okay.
point is obviously there's another thing as well. As part of England is they're a mix of different. Well, we're a mix of different cultures and different like races and stuff, and that's how the idea is. That's how they were formed. They're a mixed match of different parts of like of part of the games and stuff. Where like they've got the bit of the Norse like side of the assassins, as well as the bit of the Greece side. Yeah.
so like how when one of our group gets an ancestry test and finds out they're 3% Swedish,
Yeah. Basically.
and that's about it. And it's not like they spent 200 quid. Anyways, a joke that's going to get someone annoyed at me aside. Yeah, it's not like we conquered half the world or anything.
No.
And then they all got angry at us, and then we kind of gave them all their independence. And now we're kind of shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the idea. The Templars. That's why I wanted to set them in England, because the whole point is what started off as this we're a mix of all these cultures there too. No, your culture are all part of us. You follow what we say. Order. See parallels.
Okay. James, thumbs up, thumbs down.
Thumbs up? Yeah.
Thumbs up for me as well.
Yeah, good.
For my idea, just take everything that they just said
Yeah,
and make it sound good.
James, I'll give you an idea for you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so one thing I want to touch on, obviously, before we finish is Okay, maybe they might do something based on the game, like one of the game specifically
Mhm.
instead. And for the fact that the sound and the song in the background of the teaser is clearly Ezio, I feel like
Yeah.
they might and they should do a whole like series, a few series based on the Ezio timeline from
Most
2
likely
to
it would be Ezio.
Revelations.
Yeah, if it's going to be anime, it would be Ezio because it's 3 games. They can milk it
Exactly, and he's
quite a few series.
obviously one of the most famous assassins there is.
Yep.
Not,
Yeah,
not my favourite assassin, you know I'm a Kenway guy, but
yeah.
he's still... Did you just say really, James? I heard him whining in the background going, really?
Really?
Come on,
To be fair, like, I remember back when AC3 first came out, I can remember hearing a bit of iffiness around it and the whole Kenway story. And obviously, I came from the Ezio storyline, so
yeah.
Well, I start with Altair. That was my first.
Well, yeah, I also started with Altair, but obviously there's far more to Ezio, and I probably played about
Well, technically
2 hours of
speaking,
the original, whereas I never completed
Technically
AC2
speaking,
actually, but I played far more of it, and I played Brotherhood.
there's pretty equally as amount with the Kenway story because it's not just one Kenway. It's spanned across essentially 3 games.
Yeah.
So you essentially
Maybe
got
I'm just remembering the negativity.
his name's not
AC3
Kenway,
got.
but Connor is essentially a Kenway.
Kind
That's
of Kenway.
still Haytham Kenway.
Yeah.
Haytham's obviously a part of
The
all 3
Templar.
games.
Yeah, yeah. Because obviously the whole point is Haytham the Templar.
Exactly.
Connor's like this pseudo like
Not assassin, but it's in the middle.
Yeah, he's like in becoming assassin, and the same with like Edward as well.
Yeah, but obviously he
He
chooses neither
starts off.
side.
He like sort of becomes neutral, don't he?
But pretty much that is similar to sort of Ezio. It's like a whole story. It's not just
Yeah.
one game. It's a story arc of 3 games essentially.
Yeah.
Long story short, I'm an Ezio fanboy. Fight me.
Okay.
Like Ezio was my favorite, and then Easy Fry came, and I was like, I'm in love. Perfect. I want that. And then Odyssey came around, and Cassandra. Technically Cassandra's not an assassin.
No, neither is Alexios, and neither of them are assassins.
Yeah,
it's
they
pre Assassin's Creed,
they are dead.
which is why the game's not Assassin's Creed because it's pre Assassin's Creed.
Yeah,
But does your point still stand that if they were to do a Netflix series,
it'd be
that
Ezio.
they'd
Yeah.
follow the Ezio storyline?
yes, they would
because
because it's most popular and it's
Yeah.
the biggest.
and
But also, the Kenny Ways would be fun as well.
yeah,
but
that
it'd
would be an interesting one.
But it'd be different, like people playing each protagonist. Whereas the Ezio ones, they have the same person playing the same protagonist.
Exactly. Yeah.
It'd be easier to like pay
do.
for and
Exactly.
do.
Why not just puke money and do them all?
And the Kenny Ways side is just boats. So
Yeah, pretty much. And I think that pretty much covers our Netflix discussion talk. Hopefully this went well. If it did, like and subscribe. And we might do another one similar. Not obviously.
Dora too.
Well, Alex wants to do one. You want to do one.
I definitely think
we'll
both
come up
of
with
your ideas have merit. Obviously, they'd need a lot of flushing out
yeah.
and not
Yeah.
just to be
Obviously,
shower ideas.
well, mine's
Like,
not a show idea. I came up with it a week ago and then just forgot about it. Then went,
Yeah.
shit, I need to actually finish this off. And then finished it off right before we started.
Mine is
yeah.
Mine is the most I've thought about. I've thought most about the first series, and the rest is like I just know where I want it to be set, and that's it.
I just know the setting, the character, and the overall story arc, and that's it. I don't know fine details. That's how mine went.
The only fine detail I know is I want Karen Good to play the main protagonist.
It's no fine detail mine is. I fucking care what the actress is like during your bit. Oh, but yeah, that covers it.
Yes. They're a basis to lay out for discussion and an idea, and probably had no form of structure or.
Oh, that's true.
Pretty much.
It literally is just throwing things at a wall and see what sticks. I mean, I was half the stuff went in one ear and out the other. I think half of it's gone off for a tea break.
Yeah, and also it's all for nothing, and it'll just be Ezio.
Yeah, pretty much.
Long story short.
But yeah,
Yeah.
just let us know in the comments if you what discussion ideas you could give us. Obviously, Hayden wants to do Dora too. We'll look into that. But yeah, this has been Chat Cave podcast, not movie related.
Yeah, and Connor, we're not talking about Two Gods One Cup. Thank you.
But I've been your host, Drinking Thomas Hughes.
I don't know what's going on anymore.
Thanks, James,
And
for coming
I
back.
am basically Kevin Spacey.
The police are coming.
We'll end on a
Not
joke.
again.
We'll end on a joke from Google. Okay.
Oh God.
Hey Google, tell me a joke.
Hello there. How can I
James.
be of service?
Tell me a joke. You gonna tell me a joke?
Prepare to chuckle
There you go.
or groan. Why did the man get fired from the calendar factory? Because he tried to take a month off.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I love it. There's a boo at the end. Oh.
Hey Google, kill yourself.
Okay. Google, Hayden said kill yourself. Because you're a bitch. Goodbye.
So long.